let us start with chapter 4, Morphology of Flowering Plants. The parts of flowers. Here you can see the part of flowering plant. Then first let us start with the first part known as the roots. The roots. Roots lack nodes, leaves, buds. They are positively geotrophic. Regions of roots. First is root cap. It is thumb-like multicellular made up of parenchymatous cells which protect tender apex and makes way through the soil is known as root cap. The region of meristematic activity. It is the layer above the root cap which have thin walled cells, small with dense protoplasm. They divide continuously to produce the new cells. Region of elongation. The cells proximal to the meristematic region undergo rapid elongation, enlargement and are responsible for the growth of roots in length. Then region of maturation. These cells are cells from the region of elongation where they are differentiated and matured. The root hairs are thin thread-like structures which are delicate and increase the surface area for absorption of water and minerals. Are present in the region of maturation. Here you can see the regions of root. Now let us discuss about types of roots. Roots are of three types: taproots, fibrous root and adventitious root. Taproots, example dicots, and taproots are further divided into three types. The storage of roots, these are of three types again: fusiform, example radish; napiform, turnip; conical, carrot. Then respiration, pneumatophores, example Rhizospora, Soniratea, mangrove plants, etc. Then N2 fixation, nodulated, for example pea. Then fibrous roots, for example wheat. Then adventitious roots, for example grasses. And they are divided into two types. First is storage of root food. First is tuberous, for example sweet potato. Then fasciculated dahlia, annulated apica. Then nodulosa, example turmeric. Then mechanical support, prop roots bananas, tilt roots maize, sugarcane. Then climbing roots pothos or money plant, etc. Now let us move on to other part known as stem. Stem have nodes, internodes and buds. And buds are of two types again, terminal buds and axial buds. The lifespan of stem, annuals, biennials, perennials. Annuals complete their life cycle in one cycle. Example wheat, rice. Then biennials complete their life cycle in two seasons. Example radish. Perennials life cycle contains more than 1 to 2 seasons. Example polycarpic, monocarpic. Polycarpic are the plants which flower more than once. For example mango, etc. Then monocarpic, they only flower once. For example bamboo, agave, etc. Habit of plant may be three types: herbs, shrubs or trees. Then reduce the stem. The stem is highly reduced as a disc on the base of root. For example carrot, radish, etc. Then underground modification, there are of four types. First is rhizome. The stems are subterranean and grow horizontally. For example ginger, turmeric, banana. Then tuber, swollen stem tips. Axillary buds are present. Example potato. Then corm, subterranean, grows vertically. Example gladiolus, colocasia, crocus, alocasia. Then bulb, stem is condensed. Leaves are scaly and fleshy. Bulb is again of two types: tunicated, scaly or imbricate. Tunicated, like it may be simple or complex. Simple is onion and complex in garlic. Then scaly or imbricate type is lily, etc. Then fifth is subaerial modification. First is runner. It is posted creeping root at nodes. Example duke, gas, oxalis, etc. Then sucker arises from axillary bud present on the underground basal part of the axillary shoot. Example mentha, chrysanthemum, banana, etc. Then stolon, subterranean, roots at nodes. Example jasmine, fragaria, vesica. Then offsets, water hyacinth. Example Eichhornia campressus. Now let us discuss the weak aerial modification. First is twinners. They are long flexible stem able to climb. Example Colvolus arvenicis, Lipomia quomaretic, then Dolichus lablab, etc. Then linas, these are thick and woody twiggers. Example Bougainvillea, Tinospora. Special modifications are of five types. First is strandle, thin, weak, leafless, spirally coiled. Example passiflora, cucurbita. Then thorn, hard, straight, pointed axillary branch developed from axillary branch. Example datura, Bougainvillea. citrus. Then phylloclade, stem modified into leaf-like structure. Example, Opuntia, Euphorbia, epiphyllum. Then cladode, the phylloclade with one or two internodes is known as cladode. Example, Asparagus ruscus. Then bulbil, modified vegetative or floral buds. Example, Dioscorea. Now let us move on to the other part, leaf. The structure of leaf. The leaf base, the base part may be leaf-like structure called stipules, and in some legumes the leaf base is swollen, known as pulvinous. Then petiole, the stalk-like cylinder part which joins lamina with leaf base is known as petiole. Then lamina or leaf base, leaf blade, which is a green expanded part supported by veins and veinlets. Photosynthesis occurs in lamina. Morphology of leaf. The first is structure of leaf. It is of three types: leaf base, petiole, and lamina. Leaf base is also known as hypopodium, which is of three types: sheet, example monocots; stipules, example dicots; then pulvinous, example pisum. Then petiole is known as mesopodium, which is of three types: spongy, example eichhornia; winged, example citrus; phylloclade, example acacia. Then lamina is also known as epipodium. Now let us move on to phyllotaxy, where first is alternate phyllotaxy, example seen in hibiscus, mustard, sunflower. Then opposite phyllotaxy, superposed is jamun and jamun gova. Then desiccate is Calotropis ocimum. Then rolled phyllotaxy is seen as Nerium alstonia. Venation is of two types: reticular, parallel. Reticular venation is shown by dicots, and it is of two types: unicostate, example ficus; then multicostate, example cucurbita. Then parallel venation is shown by monocots, and it is of two types again: unicostate, example musa; then multicostate, example palm. Now types of leaf. First is simple leaf. The lamina is not divided and do not touch midrib. Then the compound leaf. Lamina is divided into leaflets and may be borne laterally on the rachis. And the compound leaf is of two types. What is pinnately compound? Example neem, and leaves are attached to the midrib or rachis. Then palmately compound, example is silk cotton, where leaflets are attached to the apex of the petiole. Types of modifications of leaf. First is leaf spines, example Opuntia, aloe vera. Then leaf tendrils, example pea, sweet pea, etc. Then phylloclade, Australian acacia. Then fleshy leaves like onion and garlic. Then leaves of insectivorous plants are modified into pictures to catch the insects. For example, the Nepenthes and Venus flytrap. Then the inflorescence. Arrangement of flowers on floral axis is known as inflorescence. First, let us discuss about the racemose inflorescence. Racemose inflorescence is a type of inflorescence where flowers are arranged in acropetal manner. That means the young flowers are at the top and the old flowers are at the bottom. First, the types of racemose inflorescence. First is raceme. It is of two types: simple, compound. Example simple is Delphinium raffinus sativus. Then compound, Cassia and Delonix regia. Then spike, simple is Acheranthus calestrimon. Then compound is grasses. Spadix, simple is Musa ziames. Then compound is Cocos nucifera. Then catkin, example is Morus alba. Then corymb, simple is Ibris amara. Then compound is Brassica oleracea botrytis. Then umbel, simple is Allium sapa. Then compound is Coriandrum sativum. Head or capitum inflorescence is shown by sunflower. Now let us move on to cymose inflorescence, where the flowers are arranged in basipetal manner. That is, the older flowers are at the top and young flowers are at the bottom. First is uniparous or monocacial. Then biparous or dicacial. Example Dianthus ixoria jasmine. Then multiparous or polycacial. Example Chloropsis. Now special inflorescence are of three types. First is cyathium, shown in Euphorbia. Then hypanthodium, shown in Ficus. Then verticillasta, shown in Ocimum santium. Now let us move on to the flower. Here you can see the typical flower, which has petiole, thalamus, ovary, ovule, sepals, petals, style, filament, anther and stigma. The terminology with respect to flowers. The bisexual flowers, which have both female and male sex organs. Example P. hibiscus. Then unisexual flowers, they have either female sex organ or male sex organ are present. Example maize. Then trimerous flowers, that means all floral appendages are in multiples of 3. For as trimerous, there is tetramerous, multiples of 4. Then pentamerous, multiple of 5. Then bracteate, bracts are present. Ebracteate, bracts are absent. Now symmetry of flowers, symmetry of 3 types. Actinomorphic flower, radial symmetry, example mustard, datura, chili. Then zygomorphic flower is bilateral symmetry, example pea, gulmohar, bean, cassia. Then asymmetrical flower, irregular symmetry, example canna. Now let us discuss the position of floral parts on the thalamus. First is hypogynous. Here gynoecium occupies the highest position and others below it. Example mustard, china rose, brinjal, petunia, etc. Here you can see the picture. Then perigynous. Here gynoecium is located at the center and others are on the rim or the periphery, is called as perigynous. Example plum, rose, peach. Here these both are perigynous conditions. Then let us discuss about epigynous. The margin of thalamus grows upwards. The ovaries completely and getting fused with it. The other parts of flowers arise above the ovary. Example guava, cucumber, bitter gourd, and ray florets of sunflower. Here you can see the ovary is fully covered by the thalamus and all floral appendages are above the ovary. This condition is known as epigynous condition. Now let us discuss parts of flowers in detail. First is calyx or sepals. The outermost whorl, generally green in color, may be gamosepalous, sepals united, or polysepalous, sepals free. Then corolla, it is known as petals. The second whorl, which is generally in different colors according to the pigments, and there are attractive parts. They attract insects for pollination. They may be gamosepalous, petals fused, or polysepalous, petals free. Then aestivation, arrangement of petals and sepals in floral bud is known as aestivation. We have 4 types of aestivation. First is valvate aestivation, where the margins of sepals or petals just touch each other but do not overlap. Example calotropis. Then twisted, the margin of one overlaps others in an order. For example china rose, lady's finger, and cotton. Then imbricate, they overlap each other in a particular direction. Example cassia, gulmohar. Then vexillary, the largest standard petal standard petal overlaps 2 smaller wing petals, which further overlaps 2 small anterior keel petals. Example, we can see them in pea, bean, flowers, etc. Here are the diagrams of valvate, twisted, imbricate, and vexillary aestivation. Now let us discuss about androecium, which is male reproductive organ, which contains stamens which consists of filament and anther. Anthers are bilobed, where each lobe consists of 2 microsporangia or pollen sacs. Pollen grains are produced in the pollen sacs. A sterile stamen is known as staminode. Here you can see the bilobe structure. Here each lobe consists of 2 microsporangia, and so we can say there are 4 microsporangia in 2 lobes. Now let us discuss about adhesion of stamens. Stamens may be attached to the other flower organs such as petal, sepals. If stamens are attached with petal, it is known as epipetalous, example brinjal. When stamens are attached with perianth, it is known as epiphyllous, example lily. Then cohesion of stamens. Stamens may be free or united. Free stamens are known as polyandrous, whereas united stamens are of 3 types. One, if they are united in one bundle, then they are known as monoadelphous, example china rose. Then 2 bundles, then it is known as didelphous, example pea. More than 2 bundles, it is known as polyadelphous, example citrus. Then gymnosium, which is also known as female reproductive organ, contains 1 or more carpels. If they are free, they are known as apocarpus, example lotus and root. If they are fused, they are known as syncarpus, example mustard and tomato. The parts of carpels. Carpel is ovary, style, and stigma. First, ovary, it is basal swollen part of carpel. Ovules are arranged in this ovary in loculi, which may be unilocular and so on, unilocular, bilocular, multilocular, etc. Then style, the tube-like structure which connects the stigma to the ovary, which lies above the ovary in the carpel. Then stigma is present at the tip of the style, which acts as receptor of the pollen grain. Then let us know about the placentation. Arrangement of ovules inside ovary is known as placentation. We have 5 types of placentation. First is marginal. Ovules are arranged along the ridge of margin in 2 alternative rows. Example, pea plant. Then axial. The placenta is present in the axial position, and ovules are attached to it in a multilocular ovule. Example, China rose, tomato and lemon. Then parietal, the ovary is one chambered but becomes two chambered due to false septum. The ovule is formed on the inner wall of the ovary or on the peripheral part. Example, mustard and green hegemon. Then free central, here the ovule are brown at the central axis and septate are absent in the ovule. Example, primrose, dianthus. And basal, the placenta develops at the base of the ovary and it has single ovule attached to it at the placenta. For example, sunflower, marigold. Here you can see the diagrams of marginal, axial, parietal, free central and basal placentation. Let us move on to the other part, fruit. The ripened or mature ovary is called as fruit. Fruit formed without fertilization are called as parthenocarpic fruit. Example, banana, grapes, etc. Parts of fruits. These are 2 parts of fruits, fruit wall and seeds. Fruit wall is also known as pericarps, which develop from the wall of ovary. It may be dry or fleshy. Fleshy fruit wall is of 3 types: epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. And seeds, the second part is seed, which develops from the ovary. Here you can see epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp in a mango. Then types of fruits. First is simple fruits. Simple fruits are of 2 types: fleshy or succulent fruits and dry fruits. First, let us know about the fleshy or succulent fruits. Here you can see the types of fleshy and succulent fruits are 7. Drupe, example, Mangifera indica, Gigipus, Jujuba. Then berry, example, tomato, brinjal, banana, guava, chili. Pepo, example, cucumber, melon. Then pome, Pyrus malus, Pyrus communis. Then Hespodium, example, lemon. The Bastula, example, pomegranate. Then Amphisarica, example, Agale marmellus, which is also known as wood apple. Then let us discuss about dry fruits. In dry fruits we have 3 types. First is indehiscent or ehiscent fruit, and it is again divided into 5 types. First is Caryopsis, example, Triticum aestivium. Then Achene, example, Mirabilis. Then Cypsilla, example, Helianthus anus. Nut, example, Lychee, Anacardium trapa. Then Samara, example, Dioscorea. Then second is dehiscent or capsular fruit, which is again of 5 types. First is legume or pod, example, Pisum. Then follicle, example, Delphinum. Then silicua, example, Brassica camprensis. Then silicula, example, Capsella. Then capsule, example, Datura. Then third type is known as schiocarpic fruits. Example, there are 4 types again. Lamentum, example, Tamarandis. Then cremocarp, example is Coriandrum. Then regma, example, Ricinus. Carceras, example is Ocimum and Salvia. In types of fruit, the second type is aggregate fruit, which is of 4 types. Itary of eggs, example, strawberry, lotus. Itary of berries, example, custard apple. Then itary of drupes, example, raspberry. Itary of foliage, example, calotropis. Then third type of fruit is composite fruit, which are of 2 types. Sorosis, example, Morus alba, ananas. Then Syconus, example is Ficus carcia, which is also known as Sanjeev. Then let us move on to the other part, seed. The ovules develop into seed. A seed is made up of seed coat and embryo. Embryo is made up of embryonal axis and 1 or 2 cotyledons. Structure of dicotyledon is seed. First, seed coat. Seed coat has 2 layers, the inner tegment and outer testa. The helium is a scar on the seed coat through which the developing seed were attached to the fruit, where micropyle is a small pore above the helium. Embryo consists of embryonal axis and two cotyledons. These two cotyledons are fleshy and full of reserved food material at two ends. There present a radicle and a plumule. Then endosperm. They are formed as a result of double fertilization. In some seeds like castor and food is stored, and in some plants like bean, gram, pea, the endosperm is absent. Here you can see the structure of dicotyledonous seed. Now let us move on to structure of monocotyledonous seed. The monocotyledonous seeds are endospermic, but some may be non-endospermic, as in orchid. But the outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer known as alluron layer, and the embryo is small and situated in a groove at the one end of the endosperm. It has large and shield-shaped cotyledon known as scutellum and short axis with a plumule and a radicle. These are enclosed in a sheaths which are called as coleoptile and coleorhiza respectively. Here this is the structure of monocotyledonous seed. Now perispermic seed. The mostly nucellus is consumed after fertilization due to absorption of food by the endosperm and embryo. Sometimes the nucellus remains persistent in the seed and it is called as perisperm. Such seeds are known as perispermic seeds. Example, Piper nigrum, which is known as black pepper. Now let us read about the symbols used in floral formula. First is BR, bracteate flowers, then EBR, ebracteate flowers. Here you can see the symbol like plus actinomorphic, percentage symbol, zygomorphic flower, then bisexual flower, then male flower, female flower. K means calyx, KN means polycephalous callus, then K bracket and gamosepalous, N equal to number of sepals. Epi is epicalyx, C is corolla, Cn is polypetalous, Cn bracket is gamopetalous, N equal to number of petals. P is perianth, and here A is androecium, A infinite is infinite stamens, C2A is epipetalous stamens, and P2A is epipetalous or epiphyllous stamens. Then here G is gynoecium, Gn is syncarpous ovary, then Gn is apocarpous ovary, G underscore N is superior ovary, G above dash N is inferior ovary, N equal to number of carpels, where dot represents the position of mother axis. It denotes the posterior side of the flower. Now let us study some description of some important families. First is Brassicaceae. The inflorescence is corymb or corymbeous raceme. The flower tetramerous, cruciform corolla, tetradynamous condition, sometimes diadynamous, bicarpellary, syncarpous, superior only, unilocular but becomes bilocular due to false septum formation, then or ripellum. The parietal placentation is present, then stigma is bifid. Fruit is silicua or silicula. The floral formula as you can see here, and the flower of Brassicaceae is generally represented by this floral diagram. Then Poaceae, or it is known as Germinaceae, mostly advanced family among the monocots. The inflorescence is spike of spikelets, triticum, and peduncle of spikelets, Avenia. The flower is small, sessile, surrounded by two scales, lemma and lemma bears long and stiff possess called as arm. The flower is zygomorphic, incomplete hypogynous. The perianth represented by two or sometimes three idle cells. Then the androecium is 3 or 6 or polyandrous with sterile fixation of anthers. Then monocarpellary, superior, unilocular ovally with basal placentation. Stigma is feathery. Fruit is caryopsis or nut or berry. Floral formula you can see, and the floral diagram is this. The next Fabaceae is also known as Papilionalidae, and vegetative characters: Habit may be trees, shrubs, herbs, or climbers. Root is mainly taproot system. Roots with root nodules, branches are present. Root nodules contain N2 fixing bacteria, rhizobia. Stem may be erect or climber. Leaves are alternate, rarely simple, generally pinnately compound. Stipulate, leaf base is pulvinated. Venation is reticulate. Leaves or leaflets modified into tendrils. Then floral characters. The inflorescence is racemose. Flower is bisexual zygomorphic. Calyx has 5 sepals. Gamosepalous, valvate or imbricate aestivation. Then corolla have 5 petals. Polypetalous. Palmilionous, constituting of a posterior standard 2 lateral wing petals and 2 keel petals. Then androecium has 10 and Diadelphus anther-dieticus. Gynoecium has ovary superior, monocarpellary, unilocular with many ovules. Style stigma and style is single and many ovules in 2 alternate rows are present. Fruit is legume and seeds are 1 to many, non-endospermic. Floral formula as you can see here. Now let us see the economic importance. Pulses like gram, ahar, stem, moong, soybean, etc. Then fodder like Trichofolium subsenia. Edible oil like soybean, groundnut oil, etc. are formed. Dyes like indigofera are obtained. Fibers like sun hemp. Then ornamental like lupin, sweet pea. The medicine mulati is obtained from it. Here is a floral diagram of the family Fabaceae. Now let us move to other family, Solanaceae or potato family. The vegetative characters. Habit is herbs, shrubs or small trees. Root is taproot. Stem is herbaceous, rarely woody, aerial, erect, cylindrical, solid, branched or hollow, hairy or glabrous, which is smooth. And underground stem in potato is present. Leaves are alternate, simple, rarely pinnate, pillately compound. Stipulate, reticulate, they are hairy. Then floral characters like inflorescence is solitary, axial or cymose as in Solanum. Flowers bisexual, actinomorphic. Calyx 5 sepals, united, persistent, valvate aestivation, Gamosepalous. Then corolla 5 petals, Gamopetalous, valvate aestivation. Androecium 5 stamens, Epipetalous, Dithecus anthers. Gynoecium bicarpellary, syncarpous, superior ovary with ovule septa. Bilocular, swollen placenta with many ovules. Placentation axial. Fruit many seeded berries or capsule. Seeds are many, endospermous. And floral formula you can see here. Then floral diagram is also here. Then economic importance like food, potato, tomato, brinjal are obtained. Spices like chili is obtained. Then tobacco. Then medicines like belladonna, ashwagandha are obtained from this family Solanaceae. Now let us move on to the last family, Liliaceae. It is also known as lily family. Vegetative characters like habit is perennial herbs with underground bulbs, corms, rhizomes, etc. Roots are adventitious, fibrous. Then stems are aerial or underground, herbaceous or woody. Leaves may be mostly basal, alternative, linear, exstipulate with parallel venation. Then floral characters like inflorescence is solitary or cymose, often umbellate clusters. Flowers are bisexual, actinomorphic. Then perianth has tepals 3+3 arrangement, often united into tube. Valvate aestivation is shown. Then androecium stamens are 6, 3+3. Then epipetalous. Gynoecium tricarpellary, syncarpous, ovary superior, trilocular with many ovules, axial placentation. Fruit has capsule, rarely berry. Seeds are endospermous. Floral formula you can see here, and the diagram is also here, floral diagram. Then economic importance of Liliaceae family. Food like young shoots and roots of tuberous of asparagus species are cooked. Then medicines like aloe is a source of medicine. Then gloriosa and tulip are grown for ornament. And Colchinium autumnale yield calcium, which is used in doubling of chromosomes. So we have completed the lesson, the morphology of flowering plants. Thank you.